How's it going, everyone? This is another off the cuff edition with me, Zach Barnett. Hope you guys are doing well, and we're rolling a new episode out today, going over the needs of the AFC in the NFL, what each team needs to do in the offseason. Man, let's get it all rolling with what about the Boston Celtics in the NBA, Mr. Jason Tatum? This is off the topic, but man, Jason Tatum is killing it out there, putting up 54 points up against the Nets with Kyrie and Kevin Durant out there. Come on, let's get it. Going to the Celtics game tomorrow when they play the Charlotte Hornets. But it's a great time tomorrow. Hopefully the Celtics pull it out and get a dub against Ball and those guys from the Hornets. They're good players, but they're coming off of a back-to-back. But I see the Celtics probably winning that. Their defense after January 1st, top number one in the NBA defensive rating. But just think that they're going to probably beat the Hornets by like 10 or 15 tomorrow. Tip off, I think it's like at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Got front row seats to that bad boy. But thank you for all the people tuning in right now. Got a couple tuning in. But if you're not a subscriber to Sports Talk 1996, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And we greatly appreciate your support to the channel. But let's get it rolling with the topic that I brought on today. Off the cuff, the AFC teams, what they need to do in the offseason. And we're starting off with the AFC East with the Jets. Their corner position needs to change. Like they've got a young quarterback in Zach Wilson. They probably need an offensive lineman too, but I went with the corners. I went with cornerback. But next is the Dolphins. They need a quarterback. I don't think Tua is the answer for them. But McDaniel said Tua is their quarterback next year, but I don't think he is. Next is the Buffalo Bills. Running back. They need a running back. And that'll probably complete their team in the AFC East. And all the rest of the guys in the AFC East, they're looking up at Buffalo and going to knock them off, hopefully. But Buffalo is a tough pill to swallow for all the rest of the AFC East. And for the Patriots, I got them with wide receiver help. They need some wideouts. They need a number one receiver for Mac Jones, Mac Attack, Mac and Cheese, number 10. They need to get him a number one wide receiver, whether it's free agency or drafting a couple guys. And I don't think Nelson Aguilar is the answer. And they're probably going to trade him. It's been noted that they might trade him back to the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to the next little division in the AFC. Kansas City, offensive line. Protect Patrick Mahomes at all costs. He's your freaking starting quarterback, your franchise. Protect him. The rest of their team's pretty stout. For Denver, they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback and a wide receiver. And like I mentioned prior, in my prior videos, A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers is heading to Denver. Mark it. And Devontae Adams. It's just too many stars aligned for them, those two guys, to end up in Denver. Let's go to the LA Chargers. Their linebacking core. They need a linebacker, and that's probably their top need. I looked at their roster earlier. How stout is their roster? They have pretty much no flaws in their team. They have receiving help. Their receiving core is good. Their quarterback position is stout for the next 10 years in Justin Herbert. Their running backs are good. Eckler holding that down. Their offensive line's good. They drafted Slater last year. Killing it, man. Their defensive line is stout with Bosa and that whole crew on the defense. But linebacker, that's where I have them going. For the Las Vegas Raiders, I have them needing a wide receiver, and that's why Nelson Aguilar is heading back to the Raiders. They'll probably trade maybe a 4th or 5th round pick to New England, take him off the books. Man, he was a no-show for them. Like, his production for that organization with the Patriots was non-existent. Kendrick Bourne was probably the biggest production factor in their lineup, him and Hunter Henry. But we got a lot to look forward to. That's my team, but non-biased. Mac Jones, he's got to step it up. Coming in as a first-round pick. And they tried to put pieces around him, but I think in that New England Patriots offense, they need a number one guy. Aguilar is not doing it. Kendrick Bourne's not doing it. A couple other guys, Hunter Henry at tight end, Jonnu Smith from the Titans, non-existent. Like, you pay these guys millions of dollars to not show up, and that's what happened last year. And it was a free agent rookie from NC State that produced the most yards and 1 touchdown. But that's besides the point. Let's go to the Ravens. They need their offensive line put together better to protect Lamar. Injuries really derailed their season last year. Like, what did they have? Like 30 or 40 players on IR? Like, that's crazy. But they were 1 game short of making it to the playoffs. But they did some work with backups last year. Let's go to the Bengals. Protect Joe Burrow at all costs. You got your receivers. You got a tight end. You have running backs. But that O-line, you need to fix it. Do whatever you need to do. Fix it. Draft some guys. Pick up a couple guys off of free agency. Fix that offensive line. You're killing that guy, Joe Burrow. Killing him. He's staying on the turf too long. He's like, you're getting this man sacked like 40 or 50 times a year. How do you think he's going to manage to preserve his body for a long period of time? It's not going to happen. Not in the NFL. That can happen in college where the guys aren't going as fast as the speed of the game. They're not stronger than NFL guys either. But you got to protect that guy. He was coming off of an ACL injury last year, and you let this guy get sacked that many times. It's depressing. But they made it to the Super Bowl. I got to give them props for that because they got Jamar Chase. But you got to protect him. That's my little rant for the Cincinnati Bengals. If you're watching it, get that man some help. for the Browns, receiver help and their offensive line. Baker's coming off of shoulder injury, but another one, got to get him some help. Like, you can't expect a quarterback in the National Football League to stay healthy for 17 games now with no offensive line. Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Yeah, for the Steelers, they need to replace Big Ben Roethlisberger. They need to replace him at all costs. Whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, whether it's one of these free agent quarterbacks like Marcus Mariota, several other guys, I don't think they're going to get Aaron Rodgers to go there. I don't think he wants to go to the Steelers. He would have a pretty good roster around him, but I don't think they have enough cap space to do all that. But the next one, the Texans, all the above. They need to step their game up at every position besides running back. Running back, they're pretty stout. They have David Johnson. They did have Philip Lindsay, but they have Rex Burkhead. They got to have a couple guys there. But at every position, like even quarterback, Davis Mills is not a franchise quarterback for them. Like, people don't understand how big of a loss Deshaun Watson was for them. Like, I know his legal situation is a tough pill to swallow for him, but that organization was affected big time. Like, with every transaction Bill O'Brien did for that organization, like sending all their players away, like, that's crazy. Like, you send in D-Hop to Arizona, you're letting arguably one of the greatest defensive linemen of this generation in Watt, let him go, J.J. Watt. They let their other first-round pick in Clowney go. Like, they have no supporting cast there. Like, their stability of their team is riding on a bunch of young guys. Like, it's crazy. Like, I think he's seen it coming, them firing him, and he just wanted to blow up the organization. Like, that's a bad way to go out. And for someone to go into that organization after that, I have to give him a lot of props because, you have no players to go out there and suit up the pads. Let's go to the Colts. This is probably a time where they need to draft or sign a quarterback. Like, Carson Wentz is not the guy for them. And it's been reported that they're going to try to trade him or something. Like, I'm all for that. All for it. Like, get him out of town. He's going to turn out to be like Ryan Fitzpatrick before too long. Like, teams are going to see his flaws, but he has a lot of good qualities, but a lot of flaws. Like, his time clock in his head, like, is not there. I think that's can go all the way back from North Dakota State. Like, he's just doesn't understand the pocket, I guess. And that's crazy for an NFL quarterback not to have that play clock in your brain and understand, get the ball out. He's had many injuries in the NFL, but understand to get the ball out quicker. Like, the Indianapolis Colts are like one piece away. Their organization, their offensive line's good. Taylor in the backfield, like, their receiving core is decent. Their defense is good. Like, one piece away. And that's what they wanted in Carson Wentz when they traded for him. But it just, no. It's not the answer for him. But they're going to have to sign one or or draft one. That's all it is. The Titans, that's another organization that I think needs a quarterback. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is the franchise quarterback that they want. He was good for the first season there, and without Derrick Henry in the backfield, he can't carry that team. He's just not. Just can't. And they have stud receivers too. Brown. They traded for a receiver from Julio. They traded him for him from Atlanta. Like, really, come on. Like, they just need a quarterback. That's my pick for him. And the Jags, I feel for Trevor Lawrence. I feel for him. They need to help the offensive line at all cost. Draft one in the first round. They have a top pick this year. I have them probably Evan Neal from Alabama. I think they'll pick him first overall, or trade back to get a probably a late, maybe 5 to 10 pick. I just think they need to solidify that offensive line for Trevor Lawrence. Like, you go to, this is how it always works. Like, those top 5 picks, those teams are dumpster fires, and it's sad for those players that come out with all the talent in the world, but you go into the worst situation, like Trevor did, Zach Wilson did. Like, the 5 picks from last year, I think Trey Lance went into the best situation, but I don't even think he's the answer for 49ers, to be honest. He's just, I would keep Jimmy Garoppolo because he fits the mold there better in that Shanahan system. But among those quarterbacks, Smack Jones all day. Like, and that's, I'm not trying to be biased, but his production, the only thing wrong with him, he took a dip at the end of the year. Like, I don't understand why, but I think it was injuries and something got into his brain, like the time clock, like I mentioned earlier. Like, every rookie takes his rookie punishments, if you want to say that. Like, the defense is baiting him into interceptions. Like, at the end of the year, he had maybe at least 6 or 8 interceptions that were his fault. Like, could have done better, but it is what it is. It's year 2 now. You got to learn from it and keep adapting. That's what some players, they don't adapt to the situation and take the jumps and learn from what the defenses are throwing at them, like the blitz packages, the zone packages. Yeah, being a great athlete in college, like we mentioned, Trevor Lawrence is a great example. He's probably the greatest quarterback prospect of this generation. Went to Jacksonville and just didn't play that good. But man, for all the viewers out there, man, leave it down in the comments section what you guys think. I'm gonna try to open up the comment section for you guys. And I hope each and every one of you guys are staying safe and staying blessed. But it's completely agree on Wentz. Hey, for sure. Miss Peggy, how are you doing? Mr. Trust the Process. Mr. Drew, what's up, man? Yeah, for the Panthers, quarterback, I think they're going to trade away Christian McCaffrey. He's always injured. Like, why would you invest all your capital and your money and your precious cap space on a running back that's always injured? Like, the Giants are going through the same situation with Saquon Barkley. Like, like you invest those high draft picks in a position that is has a little the time window of how great they are in the NFL. Like they might be the goats of college football, but once you hit that next level, like you have to be a different breed. And like 5'10" guys at running back, they do not last in the NFL. And they get worn down. And it's sad to say the Panthers like wore the wheels off of Christian McCaffrey with that 2,000-yard all scrimmage yard season. Like it's sad, but that's how they do in Carolina. And look at Cam Newton. I I have a different opinion about Newton, but I just how he did with New England, I think he squandered his opportunity. Like Mr. Drew, I don't know if they're placing the tag on him. That's like 19 mil, man. They don't even have that cap. Man, I appreciate your appreciate you guys in the comment section. It's a blessing to see all your comments. But that stuff with Calvin Ridley, whoo, you're going to bet on the games and you're going to get suspended. That's sad. Man, that's like all over the locker rooms and stuff. Like, do not bet on football games, especially your own team. Like, that's a big red flag. Like, no joke. Like, why? That's through the decades of football. You've had guys get suspended for stuff like that. Like, understand the past and learn from it. Like, why would you do something like that and jeopardize your career? And he's out indefinitely now. Like, you're wasting away millions of dollars. Like, some guy and me, we were talking about Deshaun Watson. Like, why? Why do that sort of stuff when you're making $40 million? Like, it's no, there's no point in it. Like, you screw your career up. Who does he play for? Who are you talking about? Mr. Drew. You're talking about Calvin Ridley? He plays for the Atlanta Falcons. He's a receiver. Yeah, he plays with Atlanta, the Falcons. Like he said he betted $1,500 and he wasted away millions. He got suspended for the whole next year, $12 million that he could have made for 1,500. Like, where's the common sense in that? Like, yeah, 28-3, Mr. Drew. They celebrated too early. Miss Peggy. Yeah, you just run those guys to where their wheels are bald and they have nothing left in the tank. That's the sad part about Carolina. Like, did it with Newton. They even did it with Steve Smith. Like Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. Man, I can keep on naming these guys. Like, and I don't think their coaching staff, they need to change that up here in Carolina. Like, Tepper needs to do something. Or that it's sad to say, but heck, he might sell them. I'm not trying to put that vibe out, but heck, hey, it might happen. But this NFL season, I think today is the last day that teams can put a franchise tag on a player. But for Mr. Trust the Process, I don't know if they're going to put that tag on old Chris Godwin. I don't think they will. They really, like I've been telling you, I don't think they have the cap space to do all that. I think they'll focus on their offensive line, Ryan Jensen, before Godwin comes back. Like, I think he's more in the reasonable side of their cap space. Odds. I don't know about all that, my friend. Like, he's probably wanting $20 million money. And Tampa, if you look up their cap space, they're in the single digits, man. You got to remember Tom Brady is still counting against the cap. Did the same thing with New England too. Like, the last year he was there, then he walked in I think it was free agency. He was counting like 14 mil against the cap because he restructured his contract. AB's probably counting against their stuff too, just like New England. Man, the stuff that's coming out about AB, that the pivot show with Ryan Clark, he's going on there and saying, "Oh, I'm best friends with Tom." Like, why would you throw him under the bus if you're best friends with him? Like, plus he's the GOAT. Why would you even do that? Like, he gave you the opportunity. He gave you the position to win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. He stuck his neck out for you, and you're going to go over there and slander and try to stab him in the back. Like, why? Like, that shows your true colors. But tomorrow I'm coming live to you guys again for another off the cuff edition. But I'm going to leave you on this right here. Who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl next year? Leave it down in the comment section. I think the Rams might go. They have a good possibility of going. Arizona, if they get Kyler Murray, this is the NFC. This is just me chiming in. Those two guys, those two teams, I don't know if Green Bay will go back. If they lose Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers and they have to start Love, I don't know about them. Tampa, Mr. Trust the Process, not to throw you under the bus, but I don't know if Tampa, Mr. Cream Sickle. I don't know if he's gonna like them next year, but I think their coaching staff. I think the days of Bruce Arians being there, it's numbered. I don't know about the Patriots. I'm a Patriot fan, but I'm a realist. I just don't know how Bill Belichick's going to treat the offseason. I think there's several teams that can beat the Patriots any day, every day. The Bengals, the come up for them. The Chiefs, Denver, if they pick up Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, I think they could beat the Patriots. Buffalo can beat us. Hey, if Tom comes out of retirement, Tampa might still be a landing spot for a lot of free agents, but I don't think he's coming back. But getting back to the Patriots, I think most of the AFC teams can beat us. But that's to show you that I'm not biased. I'm a realist. And just because Mac Jones had a decent year for us, it's that year 2 jump is what matters. Look at every other rookie quarterback that goes into the NFL, studs out his first year. Then your second, look at Justin Herbert. Like, he had a not so good bounce back in year 2. Like, and I think his talent is like to the roof. And I like him as a quarterback for the Chargers. But if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, folks. And I greatly appreciate you tuning in. And leave it down in the comments section. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl or go to the Super Bowl? You don't even have to predict who's going to win it. But leave it down in the comments section. And I might do a little things a little bit different tomorrow. We'll talk about the NBA. But there's some big games on tonight. The Hornets are playing, I believe they're playing the Nets. This is that back-to-back game. The Celtics are tomorrow heading to that game. I'm looking forward to seeing Jason Tatum in person. And it's an honor just to see him play basketball. Like, he's a baller, hands down. But for all my audience out there, I greatly appreciate you tuning in. And it's an honor and much love. Take care and God bless you.